So everyone's favourite show, Love Island, just started up again. And it got me thinking, because obviously I'm so self-centered, that my first thought was, what would it be like if I went on Love Island? And obviously I don't wear normal people's clothes. So my next thought was, what would it be like if we had Love Island Harajuku edition? So this is what I've been thinking. So all the girls would come on and they'd all be wearing pastels. They'd be head to toe in pastels. Those little like fairy K, like little tutu skirts with the baggy jumpers, like the milk clim jumpers. They'd all have like pastel wigs, like pink wigs, and like those like pastel like rainbow wigs. And instead of having lip fillers and boob jobs, they'd have circle lenses and both top and bottom fake eyelashes. They would have also like overdrawn their top lip and stuck loads of stickers on their face. So in the spirit of it, I've done the same. So obviously they'd all be like aesthetic, like they'd all be like super pale, and they'd have like soft blusher and bruises on their knees, and they'd have like plasters on them because they're so soft and gentle. And then there would just be that one black girl who's like the prettiest one there, but no one seems to pick. That's not a parody, that just keeps happening. Thanks, Love Island. But anyway, she's got like braids in, like half of her braids are yellow, the other half are blue or something. And then she's like wearing really like bright colours, but like kind of hip hop and cool. And she's got like chunky platform trainers on. They'd also probably be a mixed girl, but she'd just be wearing pastels without a wig. So she's just got like her curly hair out and she's just wearing pastels. She's like, oh, you know, I'm still like aesthetic, but like in my own way. I am calling myself out here, yes. Hi Sarah, hello. So after we've been introduced to all the girls, the guys would come out one by one and they'd all just be like skinny, lanky, white guys who wear goth. Like they basically just like to use eyeliner and they wear black, so they're goth. And then you would get two that like wear boy style fairy K, which is just pastels but trousers. And for some reason, every single one of the boys, no matter what they're wearing glasses and beanies. What is it with old guys and glasses and beanies? I will never understand. So then the first coupling would happen and all the girls would go for the goth guys because they want that like aesthetic photo, you know, the one of Cadney or Law? Who is it? Is it me? Who's that picture of? It could be anyone at this point. I think it's been everyone at this point, to be honest. So they would all step forward for them, and then the pastel guys would just kind of like, no one would have stepped forward for them at all. But they still got to pick someone. They still get to pick, even if none of the girls like them. They're like, I choose you, Pikachu. So after the first recoupling, we'd get to look around the villa, and I can just imagine that it would be like a themed cafe. Like every room is a different Sanrio character. So the main hangout area is Hello Kitty, because she's popular and everyone knows her. And then the bedroom would be Kiki and Lala. And then the kitchen would be Gudetama. And the only thing that you would have in the kitchen would be eggs. Some kind of product placement. And then the jacuzzi area would be My Melody, and then the hideaway would be Kuromi because Kuromi's like naughty My Melody. And the gym and the pool would be that penguin guy because even though he's a main character, he's really forgettable and no one knows who he is. And likewise, no one would use the gym or the pool area. Actually, that's a lie. The girls would use the gym and the pool while the boys sat on the side watching them, just like flicking their hair like constantly, just like, these girls are so kawaii. So later on, once like everyone settled down a bit and they had like their first newcomers, one of them would be Lolita and she would stir trouble, not because she's horrible, but because everyone would assume that she was horrible. All the other girls would just think that she was a bitch and that she would gossip about them behind their backs and that she was only there to like steal their men. Inevitably, she'd actually be like really nice and really sweet, and she'd be super down to earth and super chilled out, and because of that she'd like turn a lot of the guys' heads. But then she'd just decide that she wanted a Lolita girlfriend and voluntarily leave the villa and then be single forever. At one point, an old schooler would come in and she'd be super confident and super cocky because she'd think that she'd get all the guys. But all that would happen is she'd graft this one guy, he'd reject her, and then she'd be ostracized from like the whole group, and then she'd get kicked off because no one liked her. Like, it would be a case of last in, first out. Then after that, a girl wearing yami kawaii would come in, and because of the old school, that everyone would already be really like wary of newcomers, and on top of that she'd be wearing a lot of like needle and hospital motifs, so people just wouldn't want to get to know her. But it would actually turn out that she was like the nicest person there. She'd be really chill and really easy to talk to, and she'd really understand like if people were having a hard time, like they could go to her, and she'd end up staying for like the whole time after that, and like everyone watching as well would end up loving her. Later on, a girl wearing lam would come in, and she'd be really cute, but she'd also be a little bit sexy, and it would make all the guys move really mad. Like, they'd be like, look, I wanted to be with you, Lolita person, but now I'm seeing this lam girl and I want to be with her. And like 3 of the guys would be after her, but all that would really happen is she'd just stand there like pulling a sad pouty face, wondering who she was going to choose. I can imagine that like no one watching would care about any of the guys until this super attractive guy wearing like head to toe OG or aristocrat walks in, and everyone just simultaneously like poops themselves and faints because of how attractive he is. And like for the rest of the show after that, everyone would keep making OG accessory jokes and it would get very old very fast. But the kicker would be that the OG guy would have a really annoying personality. Like, he'd be super pretentious and super up himself, and he'd treat all the girls like absolute shit. And then he'd just keep going on about like how wealthy he was and how he could just drop money on like an Alice and the Pirates release. And inevitably he'd end up with a girl wearing classic Lolita, and they'd win the show because of how much of a power couple they were. Or everyone would hate them and they'd get kicked off the show like ASAP. In which case, I think it would be a toss-up between the girl wearing yami kawaii and the girl wearing lam for the winner. But yeah, I just like to imagine. And also, while filming this video, I decided that I actually want to try and like figure out what each of the current contestants on the actual Love Island, not on my version of it, on the actual Love Island, what fashion they would wear, what alternative or like harajuku fashion they would wear. So I'm gonna have a good think about it, and then I might make another video about that. But that's all we've got time for today, so I will see you in my next video. Thank you all so much for watching and subscribing and liking. Thank you. Bye. Mwah. Oh, also, instead of the host being Caroline Flack or Laura Whitmore, it would be that annoying woman from Kawaii International.